there is no time in our life when we are more vulnerable to the will and the whim of another human being than when we are growing and developing in the womb of our mothers. Never, no other time. Now, one would think that it would be difficult for me or the other members of our team to present mitigation, to come up here and ask you to sentence Nikolas to life without the possibility of parole. But it's not, because it is the right thing to do. You would think that it would be hard after you hear we've all heard the evidence. We had to watch that video again. Some horrible pictures. Nikolas's horrible social media posts. Horrible things that he draws in the jail. But sentencing Nikolas to life and being up here and asking you to do that is the right thing to do. Ask yourself this. Did you really need to see that 14-minute video again? You've seen it in its entirety, and you've seen sections of it, and you have walked the halls of that horrible place. The horrible place that Nikolas decided to murder 17 innocent people. And remember, he would have murdered more if he could have. But you don't need to look at those photos. You don't need to hear those gunshots again. You don't need to see that 14-minute video. Everything is embedded in your brain, unfortunately, and will be for a very long time. What Nikolas Cruz did should make you angry. It should make you sad. It's devastating what he has done, not only to the people that are gone, but to these families that will never, ever recover from this. And there is nothing wrong with feeling those feelings. That's what makes us human. And you may remember that you jurors, some of you, were not the only people that were crying when those devastated parents and their siblings had to get up here and tell us about their children, their brothers and their sisters and their husband, parents that lost their babies. But by showing you those pictures, the video again, repeatedly playing the sound of the gunshots, the state of Florida wants to put you in a place of hate and anger and vengeance. Because if that is where you're at, you are more likely to sentence that young man to death. And the law that we all live by tells jurors that we must not make decisions based on passion, emotion, or anger. Why? How many times have you made a decision based solely on anger and you later regretted it? How many times in a moment of anger or rage have you said or done something that you later regret? Why do we teach people to calm down, to cool down? Take a break, take a pause, take a breath. We do that because when we make decisions based solely on emotions, the rational part of our brain is turned off and we make wrong decisions. In haste, we make decisions without opening our heart and our minds. And in a death penalty sentencing proceeding, you have to use your heart because you're making an individualized moral decision. The individual moral decision that you will be making about whether Nikolas should live or die is not a decision that should be made in an emotional state. And the judge will tell you that the decision that you have to make here today, or however long it takes you, because we will all be here, please don't ever feel pressured to reach a verdict. Take your time. And the judge will tell you that you must carefully consider and weigh the evidence, realizing, and this is in the jury instructions, that you literally have another human being's life at stake. Please take your time. The decision that you make here today, or when you do, is a decision that you can never take back, ever. The law and your conscience requires you to look beyond the pain which seeks vengeance, not justice. Your struggle to raise yourself above revenge and sympathy will be difficult because you're human beings and you have heard horrible things. But it's a struggle that you knowingly undertook. We told you this wouldn't be easy. You knew this wouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be easy. But it's the oath that you took, and it's the promise that you made. And we know that each and every one of you will keep your oath and honor your promise. We are here because every single one of you during jury selection said that you believed life without the possibility of parole could be an appropriate sentence for someone that kills 17 people. If you weren't open to that, you would not be here. Our criminal justice system literally relies and depends on the independence and courage of jurors. The history of our legal system is filled with jurors that have made unpopular decisions. But those jurors performed their duty and demonstrated courage and bravery and independence. One vote for life means the death penalty will not be imposed. Your individual moral decision must not be based upon what you think that this community wants or what you think anybody else wants. This is your individual moral decision. No one else's. And when you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't have your fellow jurors, and you wonder, did I make the right decision? Did I do the right thing? There will only be your heart, your moral compass, and what lies deep within your soul and who you are. There will be no one else there but yourself and your decision. You must choose courage over comfort. You must be willing to do what is uncomfortable. You must be brave enough to follow your heart. Because if you do, you will know that life is the appropriate verdict in this case, not just based on the crime that was committed, but based on the person, the human being that committed it. Because that's what makes this proceeding different than any other proceeding in our criminal justice system. It's the only time that a jury makes a decision about whether or not another human being lives or dies. So you need to know, and that's what we have tried to do, is show you who Nikolas Cruz is, not just what he did. But whatever your individual moral decision is, whatever your compass, your heart, your soul tells you to do, you must respect your fellow jurors and their decision. And I have no doubt that you will, because you all said that you would when we talked to you in jury selection. And if you wouldn't be here. Even if you disagree, you have to respect their decision.